welcome back. Well, we have Jeff Parker here who's going to go over a few numbers with us. And we only get him today and next Tuesday, as these are your final days, which, gosh, where's my Kleenex? I'm sad.
Well, it is kind of running down, so we got just a few more, but appreciate the time that we've had, that's for sure.
Yes.
So let's talk about numbers real quick. What you see up there looks daunting, but it's actually good news.
Great.
You see the COVID cases at 18,900. That's accumulation over the weekend. But the week before that, we were at 24,000.
Yeah,
so that's
good.
6,000 less cases over a weekend. So it is starting to trend downward. And the hospitalizations are down a little bit, and so are the ICUs. Not a lot, but they're down a little bit. And so if we keep trending, that's what we want.
Right.
And it seems like, based on the information coming out of the state, that having the vaccines, having the mask wearing requirements and everything, we're seeing this thing start to slow down, and hopefully they meet their time frame of February 15th, where the mask requirement won't be required anymore. That would be really nice.
That would be awesome. And then, on those numbers, you have the tests that were reported this week were 251,000. That's a lot of people getting tested. I mean, that's a good thing. But then also the current variant that's out there is, pretty contagious, and people are pretty much going in because they think they have that.
I mean, if somebody gets
like
cold,
they might.
and which is not necessarily a bad thing. I mean, if you're getting, I had a cold and had congestion, so just for safety, knowing the employees that I'm around, I just wanted to make sure that didn't have it and didn't. Thank goodness. But yeah, I think that's probably the number one thing you're seeing is more and more people getting tested, and they're trying to get more and more tests out, so you can have the in-home test versus having to go into the facility and getting tested, because the lines have been big, and it's taken a number of hours to get out there.
Right.
Relative to our Laguna Woods, we did see a continued jump up there, and now we're at 929. Now, the point I want to make here again is, in relative terms, it's a small percentage compared to the rest of the communities when you look at some of these other numbers that are in the thousands and thousands of numbers. So again, percentage-wise, though, it's a pretty good part of our community that has unfortunately contracted it. 61 fatalities, which is just up 1 from where we were at 60. So that's good news. Knock on wood that stays that way, and hopefully our hospitalizations continue to stay down. But continue wearing your mask, folks. Wash your hands and do all the stable things that we've been talking about, and we'll get there.
Yeah, well, we're hoping so, right? I mean, like you said, everybody's doing the things that they're supposed to be doing. I know that some of the clubs have postponed many of their activities kind of for a few months. So hopefully, like you said, things will start to settle down and they can start reconvening in person.
And some of the groups that have had activities have done a really good job of making sure people are wearing masks. They've even had some groups that have required the vaccination to go to the event if it was a large event, which we did have a couple over at Clubhouse 3.
Right.
So that's the thing, being safe as much as possible.
Yeah, well, yes, exactly. And we'll have Recreation on tomorrow, and she'll be talking about a lot of the activities that are coming up, which are in-person activities, and some will require vaccination status and others will require masks until, of course, it goes away. So.
And hopefully that happens on February 15th.
We are hoping. I mean, could it be 13 so then we can celebrate Valentine's Day without a mask?
I'm sure that
Can
had
you
something
make a phone call?
Yeah.
All right, make a phone call. All right, and then a couple of other things that I know you wanted to touch on.
I just wanted to mention, because we're gonna next week we're gonna have kind of last session. We'll have Siobhan on and kind of passing the torch in that sense. But I did want to kind of just talk a little bit about how much we've gone through. Being on TV6 here, and went through, obviously, COVID for the last couple of years has been a big element of what we've had to put up with here in the village.
Yeah.
And I just want to kind of go back and remember the vaccination clinics, how important that was, and that we were able to accomplish that for our residents here. And being one of the first organizations in the county that had their own vaccination clinics, I think that's really special. And a shout out to Saddleback Memorial and Eileen for helping coordinate that. just fantastic for our residents. And so I remember that distinctly, certainly in the 3 years.
Rain and all.
I think, yeah, all of those. And one of the things I wanted to kind of a shout out, because I think people forget about it, we had a lot of consternation about the Ayers Hotel potentially opening up as a homeless shelter for at that time. And so we worked very diligently to talk to the Ayers family and trying to keep that from happening, which we were able to convince them that that wasn't a good location. And I wanted to shout out to Dorothy Patella, if she's watching at all. She was the person that really connected me with Mr. Ayers to give me the opportunity to talk to him and convince him that wasn't the best location,
right.
and that was successful for us. And I think that's a memory that I won't forget from in the time frame. And probably the other things I wanted to mention was just that we have we've had a great team here since I've been here, and we really lately have just built a really, really strong management team, and thankful for having people like Siobhan on the team and all of our new department heads that we have. And we've just announced, Siobhan's just announced some of the promotions and people moving into the new chairs.
Right.
And I think it's just a positive thing going forward. And I look forward to watching the accomplishment that VMS is going to have. And last but not least, I want to thank yourself, Paul, Mark. You guys have been a tremendous team up here for helping out, so making me look good on TV, I guess, from that perspective. And then last but not least, I just want to say a big thanks to everybody in the community, the residents and everything. It's been great. And stay safe out there, be kind, be courteous. It's a community, and so make it a community. So.
Well,
that's it.
We've enjoyed having you. You've been great, and I couldn't ask for a better partner in crime during our COVID-19. I mean, we were on TV 3 times a week.
Yeah.
And I have had, lots of people have given feedback saying that they were very happy that you came on as much as you did, because there was no other reporting here locally for what we're doing here in Laguna Woods or even in South Orange County other than what we were doing. Right. They had to search because obviously the stations up north in LA were not covering our area,
Sure.
which is too bad. So hopefully, as we found out, we were able to help people. So
well, that shows you how big and how important TV6 is for our community.
Exactly, exactly. And your presence, we know, because we've seen people go back and look at those YouTubes and they're picking yours. So you are a popular guy. We will miss you immensely, as you know. So.
Thanks.
Thank you.
Appreciate that.
All right, thank you. All right, when we come back, we will have Stuart Spencer, so stick around.